I was a Muslim, and I was laying in my bed. I never even fell asleep. I'm laying there with my eyes closed. Boom! I open up into an all-white place, the purest white. And I kid you not, Jesus Christ is right in front of me.
Hey everyone, welcome back to God's Voice. Today I'm Vladimir Praknevsky, and this is the podcast where we share real stories that prove how real and powerful God is. Today's guest, Lamar McDaniel, grew up Muslim. He prayed in the mosque, read the Quran, and only knew Jesus as a prophet. But after years of battling depression and searching for answers, he began experimenting with meditation and manifestation. But then one night, he laid in bed trying to manifest winning lottery numbers. That's right. And to his shock, Jesus showed up instead. Lamar was aiming for a jackpot, but what he found was worth far more. He didn't end up with lottery numbers. He encountered the King of Kings. What did Jesus say in that moment, and how did it completely change the course of his life? Well, you're about to find out. Let's dive in. Lamar, welcome to God's Voice today. So excited to have you. We recently connected during one of my 15-minute phone calls that I do every single day. And by the way, if you're watching, you have a testimony you want to share with me, you can go to godsvoiceday.com/call and you can book a call with me and share your story just like Lamar did. But Lamar, before we jump into your supernatural encounter, can you back it up for everyone watching? Can you kind of paint the picture of what your life was like leading up to that encounter?
Yeah. Well, basically, I was basically born a Muslim. I've been Muslim, my father was a Muslim. That's what he taught me, Islam and the Quran as a kid. I grew up reading the Quran, offering a lot, going to the masjid and the mosque, being around a lot of Muslim brothers and stuff. My grandma, she had, 15 kids, 9 boys, 6 girls. All of my uncles Muslim. Um, that's pretty much all I know is being Muslim. I learned the Al-Fatiha, the main prayer in Islam, before I could read. Um, so I've just always been a Muslim. I never, never didn't grow up in a church. My mom, she was a Christian, but she never forced me to go to church. I got Christians in my family, but you know, uh, this was never big in church. And being a Muslim, we know about Jesus as a prophet. Um, so I always knew Jesus or knew of Jesus and believed in Jesus. I got a tattoo of Jesus on my back. Um, but yeah, so I grew up, you know, when I was a teenager, I learned how to office a lot on my own, and I was praying a lot. I used to pray a lot when I was younger on my own. I had friends. A lot of my friends went to church and stuff. I grew up down south, so when I was real small, I lived in New Jersey, where mostly everybody's Muslim. Then my mom moved me to Virginia when I was about 7, and everybody went to church and stuff. So my friends, when they would go to church on Sunday, I wouldn't go with them or whatever. All my friends knew I was Muslim. I was the only friend who was a Muslim. Um, so yeah, that was basically how my childhood was. Um, my younger sisters used to jump on the church van and stuff and go to church. I've been to Bible, uh, kids Bible study a few times. Uh, Once I got a little older, I used to go to church with my mom just basically to be support for her. Even though I was Muslim, my mom was Christian. We'd talk about things, and I used to question her a lot. How is Jesus God's son, and why do you believe this, and why do you believe that? And she just always say, I can't answer things. You got to read the Bible and this and that. And when I got a little older, I read the Bible, and it didn't stick with me. I was just full blown Muslim. Um, Here a couple years ago, I've been going through a lot. Like I was, what you would call a thug. I was in the streets a lot, doing a lot of bad stuff, uh, smoking. smoking cigarettes, Black and Miles, weed, drinking beer, liquor at an early age, all the way up into my adult age. You know, uh, Creeping around trying to get as many girls as possible. The normal things people be doing in their 20s. You don't realize it's just the devil's on you. It's all distractions. But everything took a turn. I moved. I had kids. I was living in Virginia. I had two children. Me and their mother fell out, and I wanted to make a change. I wanted to move to North Carolina. I just wanted to change my life, and me and my children's mother had broke up. This was 2017. I moved to North Carolina, and when I first moved here, I had my room and I had my little job and stuff, and I was like, okay. Something told me the first thing you need to do now that you got some alone time was work on myself, was work on my patience. I had no patience. I was a hothead. Wow, God. And now I know that was Jesus talking to me. Back then I didn't. And he used to talk to me sometimes. You hear this voice telling you to do things, and I would never listen, but sometimes I would listen to a voice when it would tell me. Now I know that it was Jesus. I could never not listen, but he told me work on my patience. So I was like, yeah, I need to work on my patience because that's something I need to do. So I started working on my patience and, like trying to talk less and listen more. And that was the very first thing. And it was years of it I needed to work on. I had a lot of work to do. And, I met my girlfriend around that time, who was my wife now. And she was into the Bible, and she believed in Jesus. And I told her I was a Muslim, and we put our differences aside, and we just started dating, and uh, that happened. Um, so we here about 2023 is when things. Look, I haven't seen my children now in Virginia in 5 years. Since then, I had another little boy. He'll be 5 in a couple weeks. But what happened was, the whole time I've been here in North Carolina, I've been going through it. I've been like extremely depressed over my children that I wasn't being able to see in Virginia. I felt like they were being neglected. I felt like they were being neglected by the state. Um, because I had done nothing wrong. Nobody would let me see my children. I was just extremely depressed. And yeah, I was having homicidal thoughts and suicidal thoughts. And it was just getting really bad, and I could feel it rising and rising and rising. And I felt like one day I was just going, just snap and just do something I wasn't going to be able to come back from, either whether it be me doing something where my life is going to end, or somebody else's life is going to end, is going to make my life end, because I was about to be in prison for the rest of my life. And I was cool with it. I was okay with it. Yeah, that's how far gone I was. And I was just like extremely depressed. I was thinking, I started out saying, I need to work on myself. I need to work on myself. I need to do something about this. So I started going to therapy. I reached out, I went a couple places, told them what I was going through. They just putting me on depression meds, trying different medicines and this and that. They say, "What do you prefer?" I said, "Whatever y'all think." They give me a questionnaire, I fill it out. I say, "I'm just going through this hard time and I need help."
Before we get back to this episode, if you're enjoying this interview, can you take a second and subscribe? It really helps us reach more people with these powerful stories. Thank you in advance. And now let's get back to the interview.
So about 2023 is when Jesus started reaching out to me, and it was it was crazy. I didn't want to tell anybody. It was just uh as a Muslim, I'm praying. So I'm offering a lot. I'm offering a lot. I'm praying. I get up in the middle of the night, I'm praying. Um praying and praying, and So what happened was I would pray and I get up and there's a knock at the door and it's the whole Witnesses, Well, do you know Jesus? Of course I know Jesus, you know what I mean? And we sit there and we'll talk about Jesus for a little bit. And all right, now that was weird. So I go out to work or I leave the house, go out in public, and I was working for Amazon, delivery, and I'd pull up to a house, first or second stop, and there's the Jehovah Witnesses there. No, I just saw y'all at my house. This is weird, man. You know Jesus? No. Um, the one thing that got me because I would ask them, "Well, y'all, what has Jesus done for you?" They would always tell me they a virgin. And I'd be like, "How old are you?" I didn't. They'd be like, 19 or 20 or 21. I'm like, "Wow, you a virgin?" And they say, "Yeah." And I'm like, "And you doing this to Jesus?" And they say, "Yeah." And I'm like, "Wow, you 21 and you a virgin?" I'm like, "How are you doing that?" And they know something I don't know. They got something I don't got. Like it started, and it was undeniable. So I'm just like, hmm. So I'd go to work. I was also working at a gas station. I'll get to work and somebody come in and ask me if I know Jesus, and I'll say, That's interesting." So this kept happening over and over. I was at a Sheets talking to a guy. I was buying a cell phone. We was handling business right there outside the Sheets, and a guy walked up and handed us a pamphlet. He handed us both one. Now, mind you, he was over here talking to somebody else. It was a white guy. He was having a conversation with somebody over here minding his business. I was sitting here with a black guy handling our conversation. And, it was just weird to me that he would leave his conversation, come over to us like he was sent over there. And he handed us both a pamphlet. Like usually people won't just come in the middle of your conversation and just give you a pamphlet. And I noticed it. You know what I mean? That it was a higher power. The other AT&T guy, he didn't see what was going on. I gave it a second look, like, that was weird. Now we get up from the table. I grabbed my pamphlet. Not that I was gonna read it or nothing. I just didn't want to be rude, just leaving it there when he just walked over here to give it to me. The AT&T guy just left his on the table. I felt like, well, that was kind of just rude. At least I'm gonna take it with me, even though I ain't gonna read it. Um, so I thought that was weird. I get home, uh, I bumped into somebody else. What do you know about Jesus? Hand me a picture of Jesus. I'm looking at that's not Jesus. Whatever, but something told me I put it in my wallet. I was praying and praying, God, I need help because I'm going through it. I don't want to do something that I'm going to regret. Um, I go outside and I went to work and and a guy comes into the gas station and he says, uh, "Why y'all looking so down? Jesus loves y'all. Jesus loves all of us. Jesus loves all of us. Just smile." And I said, mm, and I'm looking at him and it caught me off guard. And I'm like, okay, okay. And maybe it's just a coincidence. Maybe it's a coincidence. I'm you know, just like everybody else figured. I'm thinking it's a coincidence. So he leaves. Another guy comes in, same day. And he come up to me and he say, "You believe in Jesus?" And I say, "Yeah." What make you say that? And he said, "I believe in Jesus, our Lord. He's our Lord and Savior. He died on the cross for us." And I said, "Yeah." And he said, "Yeah." And he said, "Do I know that for sure?" "No, I wasn't there." He said, "But I don't fight it. I don't fight it and I don't argue with it. I just believe it." And it was like he was telling me, "Quit arguing with it, quit fighting it, just believe it." And I was like, "This is weird that this guy is saying this." Okay. He leaves out. I said, "All right, this is getting too weird." So I pull out my phone and I started recording on my phone. I'm probably never going to upload this to anything. I just want to document this. Um, I f- I feel like at every angle, everywhere I look, I'm just hearing Jesus, Jesus. So right after I do this little video on my phone, another person comes in. Yeah, I kept having people coming to my store bringing up Jesus. It happened over and over to where I couldn't deny it. I got home. I'm still praying, still praying. I guess I'm praying for signs and they coming to me. And I told my wife, I finally told my wife, and I knew I didn't want to sound crazy, but like basically I noticed Jesus was trying to reach out to me. And yeah, and I knew he was trying to communicate with me. And I didn't want to say it to anybody because I didn't want the only person I'm gonna say it to is my wife anyway, but I don't want to feel like I'm thinking that I'm somebody special or something, because I'm like, who am I? At this point, I'm like, is Jesus trying to communicate with me? So I tell my wife, she's about to drop me off at work. I said, I know this is gonna sound crazy, but I think Jesus is trying to communicate with me. And she didn't say nothing. I was just like, I really think he's trying to communicate with me. I know that sounds crazy, and I kind of feel like I'm going crazy. This is crazy to be saying. Then who am I? You know what I mean? And so now Jesus is on my mind. I get to work again, and now I've been recording I've been recording it in my phone like as a TikTok, but I'm just saving it in my drafts. I don't plan on posting any of this. I just wanted to put it in my drafts in case something crazy happens later on down the road. I can come back and say, "See, I knew it," but I didn't think nothing like that was gonna happen. So then I'm at work and now I'm thinking about nothing but Jesus. And I'm like at work and I'm looking around and I'm like, this is crazy how this guy walked up to me and the other guy came up to me and the other guy came up to me. This is just crazy. So boom, this real pretty girl comes in, little short white girl, long brown hair. She walks all the way around the store. She doesn't pick up or buy anything. And she walks up to the counter. I'm the only person in the store. We the only person in the store. And she say, um, do you know Jesus? Oh my God. And I looked there and I said, and I'm like, who sent you? Like in my head, I'm like, are you Jesus? Like what? And I said, yeah, I know Jesus. And she said, um, Jesus told me to come in here. And she said, this is gonna sound crazy. Jesus told me to come in here and to talk to you. And I was like, what? And I'm looking at her because I believe her. And I know. And she's like, can I pray for you? And I was like, what? Then it threw me off because honestly, because she was white. And I've never had a white person come up to me and say, can they pray for me or pray with me? I've had black people do that before, but it threw me off. I was like, I felt like she was Jesus herself, or I thought she was an angel. And I said, yeah, of course, let's do it. And we bowed our heads right there in the middle of the store. And she said this really, really beautiful prayer for me. And I didn't want her to leave. I didn't want her to leave my presence. And to this day, I really believe she was an angel because her clothes didn't her clothes didn't fit her. Like she was like real, real, real pretty. Like not she was like flawless, but she had on like a big coat that maybe a homeless person would be wearing. Her shirt was big, like not tight, no cleavage, nothing showing. She was driving like an old beat up Toyota or Nissan or something. I watched her drive like her car or nothing matched her beauty, you know what I mean? I was like, "Oh my god, okay." And when she came in, I was literally thinking about Jesus. I was like pacing back and forth in the store, like Jesus is giving me these signs, and I can't believe Jesus is really reaching out to me. And then it was like a confirmation. It was like, yes, yes, I am reaching out to you. So, and that I said, okay. I pulled out my phone again. I say, okay, guys. I say, I started telling everything that's happening. This guy came in the story, he started yelling about Jesus. This guy came up to me saying, "Don't fight it." This girl just came in here and prayed with me. I said, "Y'all, Jesus is trying to communicate." I said, "Jesus, if you are trying to communicate with me, um, please forgive me for my sins and mistakes. Please, I'm sorry. I'm repenting right now. Guide me. Anything I've been doing wrong. I see that you're reaching out to me. Help me." Just like that. And I told my wife about it. So now I'm fully convinced Jesus is trying to communicate with me. I'm feeling special about it. So that's what was happening at that time. So this was September and October of 2023. I had this in my drafts in my TikTok. So still that happened. I'm still getting up every day, clowning around. I've been a content creator for like 3-4 years. I just clown around. I repurpose videos. I'm still smoking, drinking, lusting, which is my main sin. I didn't even understand lust, until Jesus took it from me. I didn't even understand it. I thought it was all about sex. I didn't understand it's about your flesh, the hunger for your flesh, wanting these worldly things. I didn't understand that's what lust was at all until he took it from me. So, fast forward, now I got Jesus on my mind every day. I'm Muslim. I got Jesus on my mind every day, and I know Jesus is trying to communicate with me now. What he wants to do, what he want me to do, I have no clue. Now I know Jesus is real, and his spiritual essence he's here because he done reached out to me. Um, I realize when I'm seeing the thank you Jesus signs and John 3:16 and I love just Jesus on license plates and everything. It's all signs. It's all Jesus winking at you, talking to you. Angel numbers are not angel numbers. That is Jesus winking at you. That's Jesus. Um, he's communicating to me through numbers, through through people, and through signs. Just everywhere. He was surrounding me. He was bombarding me. He was bombarding me. He was getting my attention. So he got my attention. So then fast forward to October of 2024. That's when it got real. I was stressed. I'm stressed and depressed. Every day I'm getting closer and closer to my end, not knowing it's the devil on my neck. He's whispering to me, trying to get me to do things. I know in my heart that any day I could wake up and drive to Virginia or drive to wherever I want to attack my enemies that I have so much hate for. I had so much hate in my heart and I wanted to do something about it. I wanted to take myself out, but then I'm like, nah, I feel better. I go take them out. How about I go do something to them? Y'all ain't just I ain't gonna take myself out, me be the loser. I'm gonna get at y'all. And I believe that's why he came to me, because that day when I woke up, that was probably it. Because he will wait till the very last second, and we all know that. And we go, oh, you feeling like it's the last second, and you're like, where is he? And he ain't came yet because it ain't the last second yet. It ain't the last second. He gonna show up at that very last second before he let you crash out. And that's what he did for me. So I wasn't. So I was messing around with manifesting. I'm watching videos and learning how to manifest stuff, right? And I'm doing silly stuff like manifesting chocolate chip cookies, manifesting a dog. I'm getting good at it. Like, oh, I could do this. Like, oh, this manifesting stuff is real. So what happened? I was laying in my bed, October 30th. I'm laying in the bed about 2, 3 in the morning. I never I never fell asleep. And then now this is the night I saw Jesus Christ. I never even fell asleep. I'm laying there with my eyes closed, and I told myself, I'm going to manifest lottery numbers. I'm going to go to where I'm going to put myself in a place to where I can see the lottery numbers in the future, and then I'm going to know the lottery. So I'm laying there in the bed, and I'm like meditating, I guess is what you call it. I end up in an all black place. It's all black, like how your background is. I'm in an all black place. And I'm like, okay, I'm here. Now it's like doors. All these doors. I can't see the doors, but I know I'm surrounded by doors. All I got to do is choose the right door, and I'm gonna be there, and I'm gonna be able to see what I want to see. Because there was nowhere else to go. It was pitch black. I was like nowhere. I was like out of my mind, but I was like literally out of my mind. I guess that the out of body experience. I don't know. Um, boom. I open up into an all white place. The purest white, the purest white, like white surrounding me. Everything is white, and it's just so real, realer than anything you ever seen, realer than this physical place. And it was physical. I like raise up as if I was like laying down on my back. I like rolled up, and I kid you not, Jesus Christ is right in front of me. And I see his long white robe. He's like a 6-foot man, regular sized man, average height. I start going crazy. I'm in awe. Like it's like a kid meeting LeBron James in the candy store. I don't I don't look up to no man. I don't look up to no man like, oh, I could see Michael Jordan, I could see Hakeem Olajuwon, I could see Mike Tyson. I'm not gonna go, oh my God, can I get a picture with you? I don't care about celebrities and stuff like that. Nobody moves me like that. That's how I was. Oh my God. It's Jesus. Mind you, I hear Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. So it was no doubt it was Jesus. I could hear it singing like from back here. I could hear something singing that. Well, it was obvious it was Jesus. I couldn't see his face. I could see his beard. I could see this. His beard was about it wasn't as long as I imagined it to be. It was like this long. But it was perfect, but not like he got a lineup. He didn't get a lineup. It was just naturally perfect. White everywhere. I'm looking to my right. I'm looking to my left. The love, the light, him, it was all one and the same. The light is coming in from right to left, is going like this, it's coming down, it's coming up, and I'm in it, and it's all just surrounding me and just going through me, and it's warm, and it's the best love from when you was back in your mama's womb. Don't even compare to it. It's the creation of it, the original love, where all love comes from, where we all come from. I was back there in that light, and I'm looking at him, and I'm like, you are real, and you're Jesus Christ, and all heaven is real, and I'm just in awe to be in his presence. This is my first time being able to tell this without busting out crying, and I'm gonna try not to cry, but it was just it was overwhelming. I'm just like, oh my God. So he's like up on the okay. When I raised up, he grabs me and like daps me up like this and pulls me in just like I would like if I ain't seen a friend in a couple months or a while, and you bring them in, and put my hand on the back of his shoulder right here. We brought it in, and he did the same thing to me. And when he brought me in, he said, "You made it." He said, "You made it." And we backed off like this, and he was just letting me take it all in. And I was like, oh my, I can't believe this is all real. You are real. And I'm like, this is really you. And you really died for us. And before I could even finish my questions, he just keeps saying, yeah, 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 yeah. Everything I asked, he's like, yeah, it's already, yeah, yeah. And I'm like, oh my God. He's like, yeah, yeah, yeah. Like I said, I asked him like 100 questions because I just had all these questions and he's answering them so fast, so fast. And we think, oh, we think God is slow and he takes a long time. And no, God is so fast. He moving too fast. You can't see how fast he moving. Yeah, he's so fast. He's so quick. And I was just in awe. He had wings.
Before we get back to the interview, don't miss Freebie Friday. Every Friday, a brand new faith-building ebook, audiobook, or video course is released completely free for 1 week, from Friday to Friday. After that, it's gone. So go see what's free this week at godsvoicetoday.com/free. And now let's get back to the interview.
That was what blew me. I'm like, you got wings. Like, you out here just flying around and stuff. Like, and he's like, yeah, yeah. And then I could see people behind him, maybe 10 feet behind him, but I couldn't see them. I could see like their silhouette, like a shadow, like they was kind of grayish, like, but I could see them behind him, but I could only see what he was allowing me to see. You know what I'm saying? And it's like I was there. It was like I was at the gates, but I couldn't come in yet. But it was like I just popped up there and he's like, and he met me at the gate, like, hey, you made it. And I'm like, oh my. And he says, it's okay. It's okay. You don't have to do all of that. You don't have to do all of that stress. You don't have to be depressed. And he's telling me that, and he's telling me, like, this is for everybody. Like, y'all be doing too much. Y'all out here depressed and y'all giving the enemy power by not having faith, basically. Like, I'm right here with y'all with every step. Every step of the way, I'm here with y'all. You just gotta believe. And it's okay. It's okay. Like a lot of us are going to heaven and we like so scared that we not. And then we so worried. We're so worried when we don't have to be. You just sit, it's like it's already done. You're already going to heaven. It's like you in a movie, and at the end of the movie, everything's gonna be fine. But you don't know that in the middle of the movie, but he's already seen it all the way to the end, and it's okay. You're gonna be okay at the end. You good. He told me I passed my test. He like, you passed. You made it. Like, you didn't go do what you was about to go do. And you made it. And I said, oh my. So then I asked him all these questions, and I can't remember everything because it was so overwhelming. And I was there. I felt like I was there for 20 minutes. I asked my wife how long she think it was. She said like 40 minutes. So we chalked it up to 30 minutes. It was a really, really long conversation that I had with him. After I asked all these questions, he like took back. All right, he chilled with all the like seriousness, and he just joked with me, and he just joked with me, and he just like told me jokes like he was funnier than Eddie Murphy or Jim Carrey, and it was just so funny. And my wife said that I was laughing hysterically. She said I was just like, I was just rolling around in the bed, just cheesing from ear to ear. And when I was in his presence, I was just like, oh my God, he's so funny. And he was just kept making me laugh and laugh and laugh. He told joke after joke after joke after joke. I mean, he's the best of all comedians. He's so funny. I mean, he's so funny. And um then he started to tell me things that I could not believe. Like everything he told, some things have already came to pass that he told me and all that. what? Like, told me I was going to get this and get that, and one of my family's going to get back together, and and I'm like, I can't believe somebody loves me this much. Okay, so I already when if I would have come out of this right there, I could have saw him for 2 seconds. I could have been in that light for 2 seconds, and I would have came out exactly how I am now. Everything else was just extra, like like he got a cup, and you got a cup, and you ask Jesus to pour some love in it. He gonna pour it, and that cup will start overflowing. He'll keep pouring it for eternity, even though you been had enough. He gonna keep pouring it forever. It's like that's how much love he got for us. And so he started telling me all this stuff, and he talked for longer than I asked questions. And he told me he told me we was all going to heaven. Huh? He told me I was gonna get my kids, all of my children back together. He told me I was gonna get, all of this money. He told me I was gonna get a new place to stay. Me and my wife, we got a house now. We're trying to get into a new place. He told me that's coming. All of that's coming. Cause I didn't ask him about, hey, can you give me this or can you give me that? Um, he just started telling me stuff he was gonna give me. Like he already know, he knows what you want. He knows what you want. He know everything. Like he knows everything. And we all feel like, like nobody understands you. He understands you. If nobody else, your parents, your kids, your teacher, your therapist, all these people may not understand you, but you feel it in your heart. Somebody understand. That's Jesus that understands you. The only one that matters. He understands you. And you feel like when nobody don't love you, you feel like you're missing that love, or where the love? Why everybody? No, it's there. It's there. You can't see it. Jesus is there. The love is there. This is what he was telling me. He told me so many things. It was too overwhelming for me to believe it. Um, so next, it got too overbearing. I'm like, I just can't take it. No, he's pouring his love in me. This love, he's just pouring it in me. I'm like, I can't believe there's an entity that loves me this much. I can't even take it. It's too much love. You can't love me this much. I'm not deserving of it, basically. I don't I'm not deserving of it. He told me like your prayers is answered. You prayed enough. You prayed enough. Cause I always pray to God, let me be one of the people who pray to you the most. I want to be in the front. On Judgment Day, I want to be in the front with the prophets. I want to be in the top level of heaven. I want to pray so much that I'm one of the most praying people. If I can't do nothing else, so I just pray. Anytime I see something that say pray, I pray. Well, then, you're scrolling and say, I bet you won't pray. Oh, no, I stop right there and I pray. Anytime I see anywhere, anybody mention the word pray, I pray right there. So I can try to be one of the most praying people. And he was like, it worked. You made it. That's the best thing, and Jesus said you made it and you go into heaven. It's nothing. I can't go back. I can't go back. So he worked miracles. He do miracles, and I didn't even know. And if you get in his presence, he'll do a miracle for you. That's his thing. So he's like, hold on, because I'm like, I gotta get out of here. This is too much. Like I'm trying to back out. I'm trying to back. He didn't want me to leave. I was trying to leave his presence. I gotta get out of here. Um, he says, hold on, let me do this one thing for you. And he says, put out your left hand. I put out my left hand, and he put out his right hand. And it I know y'all seen that people have the pictures where I guess it'd be God up in the cloud and he got his hand out and the other person got their hand out. It was kind of like that, but we was like right here. And he took all of my stress and worries, came out of my left hand, like a frequency, like it was like oily bubbles. I don't know how you want to explain it, but it just came out of my left hand. All of my stress and worries left my body, went through my left arm and out of my left hand, and he sucked it into his right hand. and he was just like this, and I could literally see it going into his hand, and he was just taking it like, let me do this for you. Let me do this one thing for you. And he started to do that. Now, he didn't even have to do that for me. I was already good. I was already gonna come out of this saying everything I'm saying. This was like extra. And man, he started doing that, and then it was like, boom, like I'm getting bombarded with more love. Now he's doing a miracle for me. Now he's taking my stress and worries literally out of my body. Oh man, so he's doing that, and he was gonna take it all. He was gonna take it all. I couldn't even last long enough because it felt too good. I'm like, I come to, I'm in the floor in a fetal position like this, doing this right here, sweating from head to toe, just sweating like I've been in a sauna, sweating from head to toe. And I'm like shaking in it. I'm like this when I wake up, and I'm like, and my wife is standing over me like, Ali, are you okay? What's going on? And I jump up, run into the bathroom, and I'm throwing cold water on me. And I'm just throwing the water, and I'm looking in the mirror, and I'm like, oh my God, what? And I try to calm down. I go back into the room. I lay down in the bed, and my wife's like, "What happened? What's wrong?" I don't say nothing. I'm just wore out. I roll over. I just go back to sleep. Man, it's like 4 in the morning. I wake back up about 6 in the morning. I go to the bathroom. I come out the bathroom. She's sitting there like this. You gonna tell me what happened? And it came out. I was like, I saw Jesus. And she was like, yeah. I knew something happened. You was doing this, and you was laughing and giggling for like 30 minutes, and then you started spazzing out. Then you started rolling on the floor, and I was like, yeah, I saw Jesus, and he took my stress and my worries from me. He took it from me. She's like, what? I go outside to walk my dog. I step outside, and the breeze just feels immaculate. Know what I mean? The trees look beautiful. I'm just happy because all of my stress and worries is gone. I ain't got no stress and worries now. He was going to take it all from me. He took it down, I said about 20, 30%. If I would have stayed longer, he would have took it completely. He took all of my past stress and worries, all of it in the past. So I wasn't stressed or worried about my children, a job, nothing could bother me. I was just happy. Happy, happy, happy. And the only thing I remember, he told me he gonna come back, and he was gonna do the rest when he come back. Like that was just the beginning. And I'm like, okay. So I knew that. So now we at one. I know what's going on. Jesus gonna come back one day, and he gonna start doing everything, the 1,000 things that he told me, which I couldn't even remember. So the only main thing I could remember is he said he was gonna come back, and we was gonna do all this stuff. And when he was telling me all that, I didn't believe him. It was unbelievable. Hey, I'm gonna be a millionaire? How? I'm get my kids I ain't seen in 5 years. You about to bring up? How? Okay. That what he said, but I'm just all right. So I'm going on about my life. Few days go by, I'm feeling good. Few weeks go by. I start stressing and worrying again. They start building back up because he didn't take it to where my future stresses and worries, he didn't take that. Okay, now he has, but at that time he hadn't. So I'm still, the stress and the worry is starting to build back up. So I'm like, okay. The main thing he told me was be patient. And that was the first thing I worked on when I came to North Carolina, remember? So it was all about my patience. He told me be patient and wait for him to come back. I'm like, okay, I'm being patient. Mind you, I'm still smoking weed. I'm still me. I'm still doing me. I'm still the same. I done saw Jesus Christ. I get up. I'm on Facebook. Jesus is real, y'all. Jesus Christ is real. Pray to Jesus. No, nobody knows what I'm saying. I didn't say, hey y'all, I saw Jesus. I met Jesus. I didn't say that yet. I wasn't gonna tell nobody that. I know I sound crazy. Nobody gonna believe that. I'm just saying Jesus is real. I'm just saying it every day. Every day I'm talking about Jesus is real. I can't get over it, you know. I ain't told nobody but my wife. And I started getting stressed out. I started thinking about my children again. Basically, the devil started getting back to me, you know, started getting back in my ear. So now, a couple weeks done went by. Mind you, this happened back October 30th. And like when I got up that day, I noted it in my brain. This happened. I saw Jesus Christ October 30th between 3 and 4 a.m. I can never forget. I made sure I noted it in my brain. Um, I'm now I'm going through it. It's been a couple months that went by. I'm back. My stress and worries done went all the way back up to 100%. You hear me? I'm all the way back like how I was, even though I already saw Jesus. I'm stressed. I'm back to how I was. Like any day, I'm gonna wake up and snap. I know I saw Jesus. I know what he said. I'm trying to be patient, but I'm losing my patience. I'm losing it. I'm 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 looking for a sturdy brick wall that just in case one day I want to take it there, I take myself out quick right there. Okay, I'm looking for where can I get a weapon? I'm looking for ways to destroy myself. You hear me? Devil just demons just own me. Um see, that's why I believe when he came October 30th, if he wouldn't have come that night, I believe I would have woke up October 31st and did something I can't come back for. And I was just like, I didn't know what to do. Um, I knew something great was about to happen. I felt like I was losing the battle, and I'm stressing out. I'm smoking more and more. Every time I get up, I sit on my bed, and I'm just in my thoughts. I'm really just depressed over my children. I love my children so much, and they're basically unlawfully got taken away from me. Um, and they like dislike me. They've been told a lot of lies about me and stuff like that. Don't even know me anymore. So that's what was getting to me. That's what was hurting me. And I just couldn't deal with it. I couldn't deal with it. Um, so I'm going through it and like I say, I'm looking for places to take myself out. Just just crazy suicidal and homicidal thoughts. I had never been like that in my past, never been like that growing up at all, period. Never thought I would ever be like that. I'm starting to understand, people done threw their kids in the car and drove off the bridge. I'm over here like, I can't understand them, just going through the worst. And he finally comes back. I guess when I needed him most, he come back at the very last second. So he told me because I'm waiting for him to tell me what to do. My wife is getting impatient with me, and he even comes. He's coming back and he's telling me, "Be patient. Who's waiting until I tell you what to do?" And I'm like, "You ain't telling me what to do, nothing." And he tells me to go get baptized, and I'm like, I had dread. I just cut my dreads off here recently, cut last Saturday. I had long dreads. I hadn't had a haircut since 2005, 20 years. Um, he tells me, go get baptized. And me growing up Muslim, been Muslim my whole life. I was like, go, okay, he wants me to go get baptized. Okay. I I kept it to myself. I didn't tell my wife for a whole month. I knew I was supposed to go get baptized. That was the first thing he told me. He said, "So go get baptized and we'll go from there." So I was like, "Hey, you want me to go get baptized?" Okay, but I was like scared to even say it. I was scared to even tell my wife or anybody. So finally we was in the car one day and they was talking about it on the radios, talking about something about being baptized, and it made me feel comfortable enough, and I hurry up and said, yeah, I want to go get baptized. I said it to her real quick. She was like, that came out of nowhere. Okay, that's nice. And I was like, honestly, I've known for a month that I need to go get baptized. I've known for a month that I wanted to get baptized. I guess I was waiting until I was comfortable with it, because I wasn't even comfortable with saying it. And I was like, yeah, that's what Jesus wants me to do is go get baptized, and then we're gonna go from there. He says, okay. You know what that means, like when you go and get baptized. No, not really. Well, that's when you gotta start over. You're being born again. You're really not supposed to sin anymore after that, and this and that. He's telling me a little bit about it, and I was like, okay. Well, yeah, that's what he said. So I was thinking, I want to go to my mama's church in Virginia. She just got her license to be a pastor a few months back. She's been preaching and stuff, and she's been in the church for a real long time. She's been praying for me real long time. We have talks, we have talks. Like I say, I asked her. She, and she, we've been having talks about it, but she never pressured me on it. And I wanted to tell her, because I know she been praying for this for a long time. Like she probably knew this was gonna happen. She probably been having thoughts of Jesus. She knew this, and my wife's like, I've been praying too, and I was praying Jesus will come to you and give you a spiritual encounter, and that He'll do something, to bring you that next step. Because I always been a very religious person, um, but I was missing Jesus, and a lot of us know God, but we don't know the way to him. A lot of us know God and we talking about God all the time, but we ain't talking about Jesus. And that's the problem. Um, so I wanted to tell my mom in person, you know, I was gonna wait until the next time I go there and surprise her with it, and I couldn't. A couple weeks ago, we got on the phone. I'm talking to my mom. I break down crying. I said, "Mom, I saw Jesus Christ. I seen him. I seen him, Mom." Oh my God, thank God. Yes, I believe you. What happened? So I broke down. I told everything I said, and he told me I need to get baptized, and I want to come up there. I wanted to wait to see you face to face, but I can't hold it in no more. Like it just came over me, and she's like, "Okay, I'll set it up." So that was like on a Monday or Tuesday or something. She got all excited. I said, "Okay." She said, I'll set it up for Sunday. Well, I'll talk to the pastor, see if we could do it, this and that. I said, okay. Um, Mind you, I still hadn't changed nothing. I hadn't changed nothing. But Jesus got to working. And now my new slogan is let Jesus cook. Let him do what he gonna do. Let Jesus cook. Let him do it. Give in. I'm telling any and everybody that's listening, you got to give in. You got to believe. And that's really it. You just got to believe. And he using me as an example because I was a sinner. I was all of that. I was all of that. And don't wait to see him face to face because he might not come to you face to face because it's all about patience. He might wait till you're on your deathbed and then you give yourself to him because that might be how he work. And everybody's path is different. But I am telling you, Jesus is the way. I don't care what you're talking about. Put him first, and he gonna answer you. So, what happened? My wife started getting on me, rightfully so. She was getting impatient with me. Like, what are you doing? I'm still riding around doing the same thing. Even after I done set it up to where I'm about to go get baptized. And she said, well, we need to be fasted. And I'm like, okay. But, I got to smoke my blunt. And, okay. But, I'm just, Jesus had to do everything for me. He did everything for me. I was grateful enough that he did it for me. He literally did it for me. Like when he took my stress and my worries, I didn't know that your stress and your worries. I didn't know that was a thing. I didn't know that went hand to hand. People say, "Oh, Jesus, take our stress and our worries." I didn't know that was a phrase. I did not know that at all. I don't say when I be saying Jesus saved my life and Jesus saved me, and people thinking that I'm just regurgitating what I hear Christians say. No, I am not. So when after I had my encounter with Jesus, that's when I got on YouTube and I was looking at and I'm like, did this happen to anybody else? And that's when I saw, oh, 200 or 2,000 Muslims over in this Muslim country had a dreamed about Jesus, and they all woke up and converted the next day, but they couldn't tell nobody because they'll wipe them out. And I was like, he's coming. He's coming to them too. He, he's coming to other people. It's really happening. And I'm like, yeah, he came to them. They ain't wake up and say, "Oh, we converting." Shh, don't tell the city because they might want to come chop us, whatever. But yeah, Jesus, they know. Just like he came to me. So I'm watching videos. That's how I came across your page, a few other people's pages. And I'm watching people's NBEs and their encounters and all of their testimonies, and I was like, wow. Um, I hadn't even well, we just started watching those type of videos, and so now your videos will pop up on the top of our feed, so we'll watch them here and there. I wasn't planning on getting on no platform and telling nothing. You hear me? I didn't want to tell nobody. I was just saying Jesus is real. I got something. I know something y'all don't know. But hey, Jesus, I'm telling you, I'm just happy with that. I wasn't gonna go out here and tell this story I'm telling to nobody. You hear me? And not that I care about looking crazy, but I don't care. I didn't want to look crazy, but I don't really care about that because I've been on social media doing crazy stuff all the time anyway. And to keep it real with you, I think that's what prepared me for all of this. My whole life prepared me for what I'm going through right now. And when I realized that, I said, "Oh my God, your life's plan. What Jesus got planned for you is bigger than what you got planned, or way bigger than what you think." And you might be going through all this and that. You are way more special than you think, more than you know. And Jesus got plans for each and every one of us that we don't have no clue about it. And we are so powerful in the spiritual realm that you don't have a clue. You just, but you feel it deep inside you, somebody, and you are. Um, so yeah, I was going through it. My stress hit back up to 100. So talk to my mama and stuff. My wife said, basically told me, "Get when you gonna get it together? You need." And I was like, "What? You trying to spend money? You still trying to go get a sack?" And I'm like, I smoke. I'm stressed. You what?" She don't never get on me for it. Yeah, I know it was Jesus speaking through her to me. And plenty times I try to quit smoking, but not really. I tell myself this is the last sack I'm gonna buy. You know what I mean? Soon as I'm done, well, I have a blunt left. Oh, I need to get some more. I was never really serious in my heart with it. You know what I'm saying? So we got in a little debacle about it. She ain't wanna uh uh she wouldn't even help me. So she wouldn't even help me get my sack that day. I'm mad about it. She take off. We spent some time apart that day. Give me time to think. Give her time to pray more on me. You know what I'm saying? Pray over me. Thank God. Jesus sent me a wife that knows him. She was a blessing in disguise. Um, I got up that Thursday. We went out, ran our errands. I said, "Okay, I can go get my sack now. We talking, we good now." Yeah, I guess. I'm just get a little bit, okay? I get me a little bit. I get 2 blunts. I buy 2 blunts. And I talked to Jesus about it. I said, just cause she was like, "We supposed to be fasting and stuff." Mind you, it's like the next day was the start of Ramadan and Lent. I ain't thinking about none of that. I ain't thinking about none of that. I'm just thinking, okay, I'm gonna talk to Jesus about it. I'm sitting in the car. And I say, Jesus, I gotta stop. I gotta quit. Just let this be the last time I buy some Mary Jane. Let me quit. Let this be my last 2 blunts, and I'ma really quit. Jesus said, okay. I said, okay, he cool with it. Okay. Bruh, this is when it gets so crazy. Cause even though I had already saw him, this is when he started doing all this stuff. So I'm sitting in the car, I smoke a blunt, and he just start going in on me. Start going in on me. I'm sitting in the car alone and it's just coming. It's coming. Look at what you're doing to your family. Look at what you're doing to your wife. You're holding them up. Your wife told you you're supposed to be fasting. Your wife then told you to stop doing this. Your wife then told you to put your energy over here. Look how you've been mean. Look how you've been missing your children and you've been depressed and you've been taking it out on your stepkids and you've been sitting around and getting high and you're not paying attention to all of the beautiful things you got. Look at everything I'm doing for you. Look at it. Look at how you're ignoring. Look at how you're sinning. I'm breaking down. And then he's like, apologize. Like, oh my God. So I'm gonna start texting my wife and I'm telling her, I apologize. Then he's like, no, see, she think you sitting in the car smoking and she don't, you, she think you just talking. Go in the house and apologize to her. She ain't getting this message. I go in the house, my wife is laying in the bed. She ain't even looking at her phone. She ain't even getting the messages. I said, oh, you didn't get my messages? No, I ain't looking at the phone. I said, I'm sorry. I give her a big hug. I call my stepson in the room. I apologize. I've been being mean to you, haven't I? And I've been in denial. I've been being mean. I've been being a bad person. I've been being a bad guy because I've been missing my kids. And um I've been depressed. I've been in the funk, and Jesus told me apologize to y'all. I gotta apologize. I'm sorry, and we all in there crying, and I really I started seeing it. He just started talking to me like, and this lasted for 4 or 5 days straight. He's just telling me stuff, and I was like, oh man, you're right, undeniable, just making me see myself for real, really looking in the mirror, and I ain't a mirror in front of me. He's telling me about myself. Um, so I go in the car that night. Now I'm down to my last blunt. I got 1 blunt left, and I'm telling myself, "All right, Jesus, this is about to be it." He's like, "All right," and I smoked that last blunt. I got to the end, got to the clip, threw it out the window, and I'm talking about that's the moment I died, man. The old me died the second I threw it out the window. I knew it was over. He like, I knew it was over. He took like, and then people know when you smoke, and then when you finally smoke your last one, you like, I quit. That's because you're really still high, and you telling yourself you're gonna quit until you start feeling it again. Then the next day you're gonna start smoking again. But I knew it was over, and it was days later when I knew, oh, that was when I died. The old me died. You know what I'm saying? He took it like, and just look, you can't go through. You You got to go to Jesus first, and He'll help you get through it. Don't try to get clean. You take it so, oh, let me, nah. I'm gonna quit smoking, then I'm gonna go to church. I'm gonna quit smoking. I'm gonna quit drinking, then I'm gonna go to Jesus. I'm gonna quit doing this, and I'm gonna come. No, you got to go to Jesus first, so He can help you do that. You got to allow Him to help you, and that's the way you do it. And you gonna mess up on the way, but He got to walk with, and then He might need to walk with you the whole way. You got to give in, and I had to tell myself. It's like a kid when you walking down the stairs and you want to grab their hand and no, I got it. I can walk down the stairs by myself, and I couldn't walk down the stairs by myself. No, Jesus, I need you to hold my hand the whole way down the stairs and until I get it right. And I realized, Jesus been with me my whole life. He been walking with me and I wasn't walking with him. And I threw out that last blunt And I was like, that's it. And he was like, that's it. I believe you, and that's it. And I didn't want it no more. I didn't want it no more. I say tomorrow when I get up, tomorrow's Friday. When I get up, I'm gonna start fasting. So I'm about to break my flesh down. I'm about to fast cold turkey, no water, nothing, no food, no nothing. I'm about to starve my flesh out. When I say the next morning I get up, I didn't have a hate bone in my body. The next morning when I got up, I didn't have a mean bone in my body. Jesus took all the hate out of my body. I didn't do it. I had no hate for nobody. It was all gone. It was all lifted. It was literally gone. And I was like, oh my God. I love it. I'm not mad about nothing. I'm hungry. I'm starving. I go take a shower. I just feel filthy. I go take a shower. I feel so dirty. And I'm not even hungry yet. I'm like, I want to be hungry. I want my body to start getting hungry just so I can say, I, I want to feel the hunger just so I can starve my flesh out. I'm mad at my flesh. Me and my flesh at war right now. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going through it. Um, took my hate. He tells me, start forgiving everybody. Start forgiving everybody. Mind you, I hated my children's mother. Rightfully so. He took my hate for my children's mother, and I didn't approve it. I didn't approve it. I didn't say, okay, yeah, let's do that. I wasn't okay with it. He didn't ask me, was I okay with it? He just took it. And I was like, hold on. I don't hate her no more. He took it. And I was sitting in the car and I said, he took my hate away. Like, and then he said, if you really believe it, you really believe in it, and you believe I took your hate away, prove it. Text her right now and tell her you forgive her. Now everybody knows me, know how much I hate her. She knows. She ain't believe me when I texted her. I'm in there. Hey, Jesus saved me. I hope he do the same thing for you. I apologize. I'm sorry if anything I ever did to hurt you. Mind you, I ain't never did nothing to her. I've never done nothing to her. I apologize if I did hurt you. If I did anything wrong, maybe I went about things the wrong way. I'm sorry. I have no hate against you. I will never, ever do anything else to pursue anything to make you uncomfortable. I ain't gonna try to get no charges on you. I ain't gonna go to court. I'm not gonna do nothing else to you ever. I won't never call the police, call this, that. I'm not gonna pursue nothing against you anymore. You're totally forgiven. That's what I had to do. That's what he told me to do, and I did it. He said, okay. I said, okay. Saturday roll around. I still feel filthy. I took 2-3 showers on that Friday. I still felt filthy. You know what? I'm cutting this hair off because something ain't right. I go to the barbershop, chop, I get it all chopped off. Oh man. Woo. Then he comes to me at the barbershop. Jesus is so real, y'all. I go to the barbershop. This is when he baptized me in my heart. He baptized me before I did the physical baptism. He baptized me right there in the barbershop chair. Now, I go there, I tell him, mind you, I never seen this barbershop. I've been living in Raleigh and Durham past 7 years. I never seen this barbershop. I just Googled a barbershop. I was actually looking for a different one. I seen this barbershop. Puerto Rican guys, all right, boom, that's where I'm going. Took me a little minute to find it out. I go up in there. It was hidden. My point is, it was meant for me to be there. You know what I'm saying? Jesus, he be Jesusing. I go in the barbershop. I tell him, yeah, I'm chopping all this off. And the guy was like, why? I wasn't even planning on telling them why. I said, I'm going to get baptized tomorrow and I just feel filthy. I need to cut it off. He's like, okay, all right, hook him up, this and that. All right. I get in the chair. I kid you not. They chop him off. They cut him off with the scissors. Right. This was the greatest spiritual moment I've ever had in my life, besides actually seeing him face to face. I'm sitting in the chair. He cut off all my dreads. I still had the hair up there on my head. He's doing whatever. I got my eyes closed. He had some. I don't remember if he had something covering my face or not. But anyway, I close my eyes. I start seeing, look, and I swear to God, this is what happened. I start seeing gold crosses. My eyes is closed. It's clear as day. I'm seeing these little gold crosses just going from right to left, just going across, little gold crosses, little gold crosses. And it feels so good. And I feel like I'm being cleansed. I feel like I'm literally like my whole entire soul, spirit, everything is being cleansed while I'm sitting in this chair and I feel so relaxed. It was the best feeling ever come over me. I'm seeing gold crosses. My eyes is closed. It's really bright. It's really bright in the barbershop. But I'm seeing these gold crosses so clearly just going across. And I'm like, oh my, this is amazing. And I'm just sitting there. And then Jesus puts this huge cross above my head, like in the spiritual realm, I guess. Of course, only I can see it, but in the spiritual realm, whoever out there, they can see it. A huge, like golden wooden cross. So there's like this huge cross up here. Like if you stamp it like on my pineal, but it's like up here, like a huge cross. And then I'm like, oh, like what? And it felt so good. And at the same time, I'm seeing just these little gold crosses. Just it was like being on a live, and like Jesus liking the live. Like if somebody liking your live and you see the hearts coming in, but it was gold crosses. It was like Jesus, like yeah, like he's liking it. He's liking it. These crosses, and I was like, oh, it was the best feeling ever. And I couldn't wait to get home and tell my wife this. I ain't told nobody else this. It was so spiritual, and I was like, okay, he obviously baptizing me. I'm just sitting there, and it had been for 3-4 minutes. I'm seeing it. This guy comes up, my eyes still closed. This guy tapped me on the leg. I opened my eyes, and he out of nowhere, he's walking out the barbershop, and he said, I appreciate what you're doing. Keep walking with your cross. I love you, man. He said, I love you too. And just while he walks out, I'm like, was that Jesus? I want to say, hey, anybody know what's his name? Y'all ever seen him before? Like, I'm ready to jump out the tree, run him down. Jesus, that's you. I was like, oh my God, it was so crazy. My son, he's over in the other chair getting his hair cut. He gets done first. He jumps out of his seat when he gets his hair done. He points up at the wall. I'm like, what? He's like this. I turned around. It's a huge picture of Jesus been right behind me, above me, the whole time I've been getting my hair cut. Just signs, man. He's just a God of signs and confirmations, like everywhere. We walk out the barbershop because I've been telling my son, Jesus has been talking to me. And he says, how? And I said, signs. He keeps giving me signs everywhere. If you pay attention, he'll talk to you. We walk out the barbershop, my son again. I'm like, what? There's a Bible sitting in somebody's window. The first car right in front. Mind you, I walked the wrong way to get to my car. And we passed this car that had the Bible sitting in the window. And my son's like, oh. And I say, what? He's like, and I look and there's a Bible sitting on. And I was like, and I said, see, you see the signs. You see the signs. See? You saw that first. Jesus talking to you now. Now you see the signs. Well, on the way there, he seen something. He said, look, Jesus. He seen it on the bumper sticker. And I said, see? That's what I'm talking about when Jesus is talking to you. See, now he's talking to you and you can point it out to me. So that's what happened. We had a long talk about Jesus. I apologized to him again. I told him, look, Jesus in our life now. That's what we was missing. I realized all these years I wasn't even depressed over my children. I was depressed because I didn't have Jesus. If I would have had Jesus, I would have never been all depressed and I would have never been going through this. I would have been okay with everything that was going on because I know Jesus is going to take care of it. And if it's something you can't handle, you can ask Jesus to take care of it for you. He wants you to ask him. He right there. He see everything that he just sitting there like, okay, you do it on your own if you want. He right there and you can ask him to do it. And then all you got to do is have patience and wait and he gonna do it. And if he don't, it's because he ain't supposed to and you in the right place because Jesus is not wrong. And now I'll be looking crazy. I'm trying to tell people, look, Jesus the way. Jesus is the way to the Father. It is what it is. It's real. And once you give in, like I had to give in, it's called a leap of faith for a reason. You gotta leap. He gonna catch you every single time. He's so real and so powerful. So 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 that Thursday or that Wednesday, whenever I talked to my mama, and I'm like, he told me go get baptized, and we're gonna go from there. So once I put it in my heart that I'm gonna go and get baptized, he started working. I thought I was gonna get baptized, go up to the church, get baptized, and then spiritual stuff might start happening, things will start changing. No, sir. He started that Friday morning by taking my hate from me. Then he told me, forgive your father. Forgive my father. I don't want to forget that joker. I just started hating him like a year ago. Yeah, this is fresh hate. I want to chip him up. No. He's like, look, you got to forgive him. You got to forgive him. And I didn't want to. And we had like a 20-minute talk about it. And he's joking still. He's saying jokes still to make me laugh. And I finally give in, and I gave in. I say, you know what? You're right. I forgive him. I forgave my father. I forgive him. I mean, I might think the same of you, but I honestly forgive you. And anybody who's ever done me wrong, anybody who ever hated me, I forgive everybody. But he took the hate out of my body. He took the lust out of my body. That Friday, I took my son to school. Girl gets out the car. She walked past the car where she had on the leggings, the gray leggings they be wearing. As soon as she walked where I could see her legs and stuff, my body automatically, I turned like this. I go, wow. I couldn't even look her way to even give my body a chance to size her up. My eyes, he took my eyes don't want to sin no more. And he did it. Like, it wasn't me. Like, I didn't say, oh, I'm gonna stop. I need to stop doing that. I need to quit looking at stuff like that. He had already taken it from me. He was just working miracles, just doing it for me. And then he's like, lusting, the lust. You gotta all this lust. I realized lust was my sin. Jesus told me that. He took all the lust from me. I'm not lusting for nothing. I'm like, oh, I thought I loved women. I thought I'm addicted to women. I just love women so much. You addicted to pornography or you ain't. You watch it from time to time, or you try to give it up, and then you find yourself watching it every other week, every other month. Oh, I'm gonna just dib and dabble. Get at the Jesus, he'll take it. It ain't nothing but lust. It ain't nothing but lust. And that's how I was like, oh, that's how when I used to talk to the people and they say they and I used to be like, how you 20 years old, don't want a woman? Like, oh, now I see, because you had Jesus. He could take that from you. And then if you're having problems with it, just pray to him. And you can't do it on your own, tell him take it from you. He'll take it. He will take it and put it in his back pocket. It's nothing for him. He could take all of that and that's what he wants to do. That's what he's here to do. He's God. It's nothing for him. He can take it, put it in his back pocket, never worry about it. He took all my hate that Friday night. I was kicking and fighting demons in my sleep like I do. I don't do that no more. It's a spiritual war going on. He took all of my hate, all that inside of me, took it and he used it for the spiritual war. We're gonna use this over here. We got something for you. Now you just chill out down here and tell people that I'm real. He told me preach the gospels with pure peace. What? Like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? Like, he stamped the Bible on my heart, told me to go read it, and it was true. People think like I'd be like, I don't know, because I've been posting all of this. I'm just sharing all of this on Facebook and stuff. And it's like people ain't hearing me. Like, I'm not talking, I'm not saying what I heard a Christian say. I'm doing what Jesus told me to do, nothing more, nothing less. I cannot sing. I can't drink, I can't smoke, I can't cuss, I can't listen to rap music, I can't lust, I can't even really watch a rated R movie. They say the F-bomb too many times. I'm like, ugh, man, turn this off. I see a boob, man, turn this off. And it ain't even me. He's just like working through me. And they be like, oh, Jesus used my vessel. He using my vessel because this wasn't me. And that's why I'm like prime example, because I was that luster, that sinner. I'm smoking. I was a bad example. I was a bad person, but a praying person. Long as you praying. But see, I get up every day and I say, wake up and pray. And I'm just telling everybody, wake up and pray. All you got to do is wake up and pray. You just here to pray. God gonna do the rest. And guess what? I said it enough and I prayed enough to where it worked. And it worked. And now he told me I made it. And he told me I passed my test. And now a lot of people tell me this is just the beginning of your journey. But I'm like, hey, I need y'all. Like now it's like I'm y'all's test. I'm telling you what he told me. And I'm doing what he told me to do. And he made it easy for me. So you could give it to him. Like you just gotta put him first. Um Went up to Virginia, got baptized last Sunday at my mama's church. And my sister's coming in one by one. What happened? I gotta keep telling the story 4 or 5 times. I break down crying each and every time, telling them what happened. Everybody's like, "Oh my God." I'm like, "Yeah, I saw Jesus. This is what happened. This is what he's been doing in my life. This is what he's been doing every day. He keeps talking to me every day." I was laying in bed, Jesus talking to me. I say, "Do y'all not sleep?" He said, "No, we don't sleep." I said, "Jesus." Like, he starts laughing. I'm like, no, they don't sleep over there. They working. And we winning this war. And you down here in this physical is like we on the spiritual side. It's so much that we can't see that's going on, and we winning and we over here. Like if you knew what was going on, you would stop sinning too. And I just ain't once I got my cross, that's why I say I got my cross. That's the best thing better than any Christmas gift you could receive, better than anything anybody could give you. I can't sin for nothing. I'm too scared he'll come take my cross back. I know I have a huge cross up here, and I ain't giving that up for nothing. I ain't sinned. When I threw out that last blunt, I have not sinned. And a cuss word slip out here and there, I ain't even mean it. I said ASS on accident. I said, oh, that just slipped. I didn't mean that. I just can't do it. I feel good. I fasted for them few days, and then now it's like I'm on a lifelong fast. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm back eating and trying to get my appetite back right and stuff, but I feel good. I'm blessed. He came to me and he worked through me, and that's my testimony.
Wow. Wow. Who the Son sets free is free indeed. That's the journey. That's the story pretty much here. I love how you said, come to Jesus as you are. I love that most people try to be squeaky clean, right? Before they come to Jesus, to try to clean themselves out. But you come as you are. That's powerful. The whole time I was thinking about, so I know your mother, she's a believer, right? Your wife, strong believer. And thank God for your praying mom and your wife. I'm curious about your father. Is he a believer now?
My father's Muslim. I still ain't spoke to him about this experience.
Do you plan on sharing that with him?
Oh, of course. He'll probably see this before I speak to him. He knows what happened because, I'm kind of popular and I got a big family, so I'm kind of the talk of the family right now. Ali got baptized there. What? I had a couple family members reaching out. Oh, you're going the wrong way, and so everybody's giving their little 2 cents here and there, and I'm like, hey, I love you. But Jesus told me to tell this with pure peace. I would actually like to debate with you. I like to give you but that ain't what he told me to do. Like, like I was calling out celebrities and stuff, and I would like to talk about this and talk about that, what people doing wrong, what we need to be paying attention to. But he told me to do it with pure peace. Cause just to further prove he working through me, because I wouldn't do it with pure peace. I like to yell and fight about it. Like, hey, no, this is what's right, because no, that he told me not to do it like that.
I love how he said, you got to put him first, right? First seek the kingdom of God, his righteousness. The rest will be added unto you. In the morning when you get up, you don't know what's ahead of you, right? You put him first. And, a lot of some people probably watching this right now, they probably didn't even think about, wow, I'm struggling with this thing. Because a lot of times you put up with whatever thing is bothering you, the pain, the lust. It's always been in your life, so you just kind of get used to it. It becomes the norm. And you don't even think about surrendering that to Jesus. Even ask, like, for example, I've been battling with an autoimmune issue, and I just kind of been putting up with it. I didn't even think to pray. God recently has been convicting me of this, and just like, Lord, take this away from me. I want this gone. But I love how you put this so practically. Just got to put him first. You got to go to him first. You have a problem you're facing, Jesus, I give it to you. I love how he took all your stress, all your anxiety, everything away. And he can do that for you if you just let him. But it's like, that, but practically speaking, it's like, how do you do that?
Get on your knees. Get on your knees and ask him to do it. Yep. Get on your knees. Get on your knees and ask him. He gonna believe you. And you ain't even gotta be on your knees. Just ask him, period. Keep asking him. Keep bugging him. Cause he'll start bugging you. I'm talking about he'll bug you. Jesus will start talking to you, and he won't leave you alone to where you can't sleep. He'll keep talking to you, because he will communicate with you. He'll bombard you. So I got to the point where I was like, okay, I'm loving this experience, but I'm tired. I want to go to sleep. And it was just coming, just flooding me still. And it was like, whoa, they would die. He wouldn't let me sleep for 5 days. I couldn't get no sleep. It's just not wake up. He will do it. He will do it all. He will take all of it. He took all then he took all my stress and worries away again. And for good this time, when he had came back, took my hate, took my lust, took my urge to sin, my flesh. He took when I was starving, I started starving my flesh out. Oh, you hungry? Good. You ain't getting nothing. We at war. You ain't getting nothing. I ain't feeding you. You ain't getting a drop of water. You ain't looking at nothing. When I'm scrolling now, social media, if I see a piece of skin, it'll go blurry. It automatically will go blurry until my eyes get time to look away or keep scrolling. Automatically go blurry. And I'm like, oh, okay. I can't. I see a cuss word in somebody's post. I can't. Then I'm like, I can't even do the social media. Now I'm just want to prove. I want to prove to him I'm on your team. I'm here to. I'm here for the ride now. What's up? You know what I'm saying? I'm here. What you want to do? What you want me to? Now I just want to prove to him as much as I can. And I was like, I'll erase my social media. I take down I got over 250,000 followers on all platforms. I take it all down. He said, nope, use it. He said, use it. Cause I was like, cause obviously I can't do the same videos or the same stuff I was doing. I like to just do comedy and stuff. You know, it might be vulgar, might not be kid appropriate a lot of times, but now or I'll repurpose videos. Now I can't even scroll to watch those same videos to repurpose it because if it's saying it's all filthy to me now. So how would I even download that video to put a caption on it to post it over here? I ain't doing that no more. I don't even want to look at them kind of videos. If it ain't about Jesus or doing right by your family, I don't even want to. I'm not interested. Now I'm taking it all down, and he said, "No, use it and promote me in the best of your ability." And that's when I thought, I'm gonna get on one of those podcasts, and I'm gonna tell my story on there, and he gonna make sure it get to who it's supposed to get to.
Before we get back to the interview, for the first time ever, you can join a God's Voice Today interview live. That's right. You can be on the call with me, listen in, and even ask questions at the end. You might even be in the show. Who knows? Spots are limited, so don't wait. And this is just one of many perks. Hit join button below or go to godsvoicetoday.com/join for more information. And now let's get back to the show. You know, it's interesting you say that because you reached out to me. We had that 15-minute conversation. It was powerful that I do every single day. And then we start recording this, and people watching this, they probably won't even notice because it will be edited. But all these hiccups, all these technical difficulties, right before I hit record, I usually check internet speeds. I have everything. Like I have checks and balances. I have Google Fiber, which is like the fastest internet in the area. And then as soon as I hit record and as soon as you get to the juicy part, like the parts that the devil does not want you to hear, all of a sudden interference. And I used to get really upset about that, but now I'm just like, oh, I see what's happening. I just almost know it's always going to happen. But I love how you said Jesus cooking. That's awesome. You said that you heard a voice that said, work on your patience. And you just said, throughout your whole journey, you kept hearing his voice. How does he sound like to you? Is it like your own thoughts? How does that, how do you hear his voice?
The best way to explain it is like telepathic. It's like the best way to explain it is like telepathic. It's like if somebody was speaking to you telepathically, but you didn't know that telepathy existed, you would think that was your own voice, right? You would think that's you talking to you. That's exactly how it is. So you got to realize when it's Jesus. I realize because sometimes I have thoughts. Like I might say, I'm about to get up and go do the dishes. And I ain't doing all them dishes. I don't feel like doing them dishes. But then sometimes I have a thought that'll say, I really should go. I really should clean up. I really should take out the trash from my mom. And then I'll just automatically get up and go take out the trash from my mom. See, I know that. Then I realize that's Jesus. When it's Jesus talking to me, I'll be listening automatically. But I don't be listening to myself. So I might see the trash on the phone, taking out that trash. But if someone tell me, oh, you should take out that trash, and then I just automatically bounce up and do it, that's because it was Jesus telling me, because I'm not allowed to disobey him like that. And I realized when I had first moved here, something had told me, work on your pay. And I remember all the thoughts, all the times when he talked. That's how I know it was him too, because I could remember. You don't remember all your thoughts throughout your whole life, but I remember all of those little thoughts when he would say something. And I'm like, all of that time it was Jesus. I remembered all the way back to when I was 4 years old. I remember. That's why I say I remember who I am. He wants us to remember who we was, which was we are children of God that do not sin. You remember when you was a kid and somebody said a bad word, you said, oh, he said a bad word. Somebody something negative came up on the TV and you went, oh, and you turn your face and you laugh, but you automatically knew not look. You knew not to cuss. See, that's how we supposed to live forever, but then the world tanks you. You start getting used to sinning. You start getting used to being around the devil all the time because he don't stop. He's 24/7. They don't sleep over there. And the devil be working on you. And then Jesus got to let him because he got to let him do his job because that's your test. But the whole time, Jesus there with you, he want us to go back to how we was as kids. All of us was innocent when we was little babies. You get that little baby, oh, because the baby's so innocent. That's the real you. That's the real you. Before you started watching rated R movies, before you picked up a cigarette when you was 11, 12 years old, before you hit puberty, and before you started having those emotions, that ain't you. The real you was when you was a kid, when you was still innocent. And that's how we got to be, because that's how Jesus is. And that's what he wants us to remember, who we really are. Ain't none of us these evil with these evil thoughts. And that's not us. That's these demons and the devil's attacking us, because that's all part of our test. And I remember when I was a little boy, like basically when I became aware, and I was at my grandmama's house in New Jersey, and I was like, what is this? What is this world? What is going on? What is this? And I was having a conversation with Jesus then, and I remember, and I was like, yeah, that was him basically telling me, okay, you're aware now. You're aware you're in the world. I'm about to leave you. You're about to get the test. And that's when, my family started talking to me about God and stuff. And I was, it just went from there. And that was when my test started. And he had a plan for me. And I had to go through all of that stuff for 38 years. I had to go through all of that to get to now. So I would believe, so that I would understand what was happening. It was a 38-year plan. Now I'm back to where I'm supposed to be. I remember who I am. And I'm like, that ain't me. I'm that 4-year-old that was at my grandma's wondering, what is this place? And you ain't got, before you let all that stress and stuff on you, that ain't you. You ain't God. You ain't gotta have the stress of the world on you. That's for Jesus. That's what he here for. You just supposed to chill, believe Jesus is real, acknowledge him, and wait for you to get back to the light.
Man, that's powerful. If you think about it, when you think of your childhood, I grew up in Eastern Europe. It was rough, the 90s. But I only remember the blissfulness, right? Because it was innocent. There was this pureness, going to summer camps. Now reading back, like reading history and just what was happening during the 90s in Eastern Europe, in Ukraine, and Kiev, it was terrifying stuff. But I just remember my pure self when I was then, before I started dealing with lust and fear and anxiety and stress and all of that stuff. And it's interesting how quickly you get used to the things of this world, the stress, the lust, and what you accept as the norm, the new norm. You hear this all the time. This is the new norm. But there are moments when you're by yourself sitting and you have these like little blissful memories. You go back to your childhood and when things were different, right? And, people watching right now, they probably can't even imagine living life without stress, anxiety, lust. Like people just adopted, like it's okay to just look at the girl or fear or anxiety. We taught ourselves how to do all of that. But it's interesting. What I love about your story is that how you gave all of that to Jesus, and that if it happened to you, it can happen to other people. Yeah. God doesn't show partiality. He's not respectful of a person. If he did it for you, he'll do it for somebody else. And to me, that's wow. Again, this morning I had this revelation, thinking like, man, I've been living with this autoimmune issue that I just kind of accepted as the norm. But that's sad. Like, why did I stop praying? And that's my big takeaway from your story, is just like, don't accept things that take away your peace as norm. What you allow shapes your identity. And once your identity is shaped to that, man.
Yeah, he got his grips on you. You got to know that the devil's real too, and the devil hates us. We all got an enemy. The devil is real, and he hates all of us. when
Hmm.
he hates us so much, and he's not stopping. He wants to get us as far away from God as possible, which is his job, and he's doing his job. He hates us though. He hates us. And we got to know that. And once we can realize that, then quit letting them in our life. And every time we letting them in our life, and we let the bad spirits in our life, and it might make you feel good at the time, but our soul is paying for that. And just pray. Everybody is really, you just gotta pray and pray and pray and pray God guides you. And God, he's not gonna leave you because he loves us. He loves us. He loves
I love how
everybody.
I love how Jesus kept trying to get your attention through these little things, right? Bumper stickers, tracks. And I used to think that bumper stickers and tracks are like sloppy evangelism tools. It's just like, but, or billboards, you drive by billboards,
Yeah.
it's like, Jesus loves you. It's like, it's a slot. But now thinking back, man, God used all these little things
Yeah, what you
to
gonna say
get
on
your
Judgment Day
attention.
when he say, "Look, you drove past 100,000 billboards, you read 500,000 bumper stickers, you had 500 Jehovah Witnesses knock on your door. What you gonna say?" He giving you sign every single day. It's like he's smacking you with signs every day. You see him, and you go outside every day and see something about Jesus. Ain't that what you would want him to do? And he doing it every single day, though. How many times you drive by a church and see a cross? How many times do you see Jesus' name every single day? It's right there in your face, and we ignoring it because all these other distractions is for you to ignore that. It's a spiritual war going on, and we got to wake up. See, and the drugs, TV, technology, it's all to keep us our brains clouded, to keep us distracted from Jesus. It's all that simple. The devil is
Mm.
keeping us distracted from Jesus. Even though you see the billboards, you see the bumper stickers, that's your sign. It's all your sign. You see somebody in the store, they got the cross. You're seeing it everywhere. And once you wake up, you're like, oh my God, Jesus is everywhere. He's saying hi everywhere.
I love that. But what kind of got my attention is that you don't have to be stressed. You don't have to be depressed. You don't have to live in fear and lust. We choose to. It's interesting. It's like, a lot of times, like, for example, going back to my childhood, I lived in a hostile environment in Ukraine and the perestroika era. Like, there's a lot of stuff was happening, but I had a different mindset. And then there's something, sometimes it's like, when you look at the same situation different, it's kind of like you said, once your eyes were open, once you see that you don't have to be stressed, you don't have to, it's a choice. You choose to be stressed. You choose to be depressed. Ignorance is not bliss. Ignorance is sickness. Ignorance is poverty. And, that's why in the Bible talks about renewing your mind. But I love this whole, just take it to Jesus. And it just sounds so easy. Like, okay, well, that's so easy to do. Like, what do you mean? But there's something about consistency. Like you said, you're just consistent. It's like, I give it to you every single day, consciously, waking up in the morning, first thing in the morning, roll to the side of your bed, get on your knees and just like, Father, I just dedicate this day to you. You lead me. You put people on my path. You tell me you guide me. And imagine if we prayed that prayer every day, what would happen?
Right.
You put him first.
Another thing, he started doing all the things he said he was going to do. I mean, he changed my entire life around in 2 days. 2 days. And I'm like, we act like we pray and he taking so long. No, he going to do it. He's perfect timing. If it's taking him a long time, first of all, he's a busy man. Second, he going to do it in perfect timing, and he going to come when he's supposed to come. That's why you supposed to have patience, because you got to have the patience and wait and wait and wait and wait. I don't care how long it takes. You just got to wait. But when he start moving, it's going to be way too fast for you. He moves so quick. It bop, 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 boom. You're like, oh, he's doing this stuff so fast. I mean, he did all of this to me in 2 days. I'm like, oh, you can't tell me nothing. No, I'm telling you, look, it's about Jesus. Now everything is about Jesus.
Man, but the sad thing is that we don't have to live with all the stuff that we live in. Like, can you imagine on that day when we cross over and we find out that all these things, all this baggage, all this stuff that we carried with us, and it was a heavy burden, we could have just given it all to Jesus, and we could have had great lives. Like right now, this autoimmune issue, for example, I have these white spots. It's a vitiligo. This is what Michael Jackson had. Like I covered up with makeup and all this stuff. Once like if like now listening to this, I'm realizing that I don't have to live this way. I could be healed. I can just give it all to Jesus.
Yeah,
and all these years, hundreds of dollars spent on all this stuff, I could have just given all, or even therapy, depression, all this stuff that people go into these experts when they can just run straight to Jesus.
Exactly. We don't need medicine. We don't need the drugs. You don't need healthy food. You don't need none of that. All you need is Jesus. And mind you, me and my children's mother, I sent her the text message. She sent back cussing me out, the normal. Don't you know, a couple of days later, she texted me, okay, you can see the kids. Okay.
Wow.
Okay, next time you come up, we can set something up to where they can see their little brother. They haven't met my youngest boy yet.
Wow.
He about to be 5. He's yet to meet his siblings. She actually texts me now. She sent me nice pictures and videos and said that next time I'm in town, they can see each other. And you telling me Jesus ain't doing what he said he was going to do? It's been 5 long years of me being depressed. You hear me? To work in miracles. Yes. Now, next time I go to Virginia, I get to see my kids.
Wow.
When all I had to do was give it to Jesus. But I'm not, and I'll be like, oh, I wish I would have did this a long time ago. Oh, I wish I would have known this as a kid. Man, I would have been a minute. Oh, I love Jesus, but you gotta walk your path and you gotta live your test. You gotta have your test. Everybody gotta have their test. He gotta let you go. He gotta put you in there. He teaching you it. You gotta go in there and have your own test. And you gotta put Jesus first, and he gonna make sure you pass it.
Lamar, people listening to you right now, watching, man, I'm telling you, you're messing them up in a good way. But I got to ask about the questions you asked. And I know you asked a ton. What are some of the questions that you remember that were like, man, these are some powerful questions, some powerful answers? Do you remember any, or was most of it just blocked out for some reason?
What I asked Jesus?
Yes.
I asked him, it was really just confirmation. I was like, see, you're really real. He was like, yeah. Like, heaven's real. He says, yeah. We all come out of this light. He's like, yeah, you are love, and this light is all the same. Yeah. You're God. Yeah.
Did he say anything about the future or anything that are, maybe, I don't know, the future, something that
but I don't
caught
remember.
your attention?
Yeah, but I don't remember because it was too much. It was unbelievable. What the stuff he was telling me was unbelievable. Like you said, I was gonna get my kids. I was just like how he can tell you to do something and you can tell him no because you got free will. God can tell you something and you can say nah. Like some years back, God told me the first time God ever spoke to me. I was at my mama's house. This was years ago. God spoke to me. I broke down crying because I was like, I can't believe God took a second out of time to talk to me. Now, what he told me? To leave my family. Broke me down. Broke me all the way down. Oh no. I was overwhelmed because he took time to talk to me. I knew God spoke to me, but he told me to leave my family. I said, no. So you can tell him no, and it's crazy, but you got free will. That ain't the best thing you want to do. But I was like, what? I went outside and I cried and I called my sister up and I was just crying and I was like, I couldn't even tell her what happened. But yeah, that was the first time he had ever spoken to me, and I was like, oh my God. So he was telling me, to get out of that situation. I still felt like, even though me and my children's mom ain't we not good. We not on good terms. We live together and everything, but I didn't want to be with her, but I wanted to stay in the house long enough and take care of that house long enough to where my children know me. So that way, when I leave, at least when I finally do come back in their lives, they're like, oh, yeah, we remember our father. They won't be like, we've never known him in our lives. So I wanted to stick around long enough where they big, so they know me. So they be like, yeah, we remember our father. He's the best person ever. So that was what I was trying to accomplish then. And I didn't leave. And until, a spur of the moment one day when I had it out, I was just tired of it all and I felt it all crashing down on me. I was about to do something bad that day. I said, you know what, let me leave. Found out she was collecting 10 of child support behind my back and all this stuff. I said, let me get out of here today. She wasn't even at the house. Let me get out of here before she come back and I put hands on her. Cause I had been to jail plenty of times. So putting hands on her, even though I had never put hands on her, but that day I was going to go ahead and do the do. So I just went ahead and left. And then that's when I moved to North Carolina.
Something else that you said that was not the first time I heard this. People saying that Jesus has a good sense of humor. And that's awesome. Because I grew up in a very strict religious family at the time. My parents since then changed quite a bit for the best. But back in the day, everything was the devil. Everything was, in a way, just, the religious communities, laughter, smiles, it's kind of looked down as weakness, But the fact that he was cracking jokes and laughing, smiling, all that stuff that's pretty cool. I mean, if you think about it, he's the author of, he's the best comedian. He created comedy, right? Humor.
Yeah, he is. All the funny stuff that we say, all our humor comes from him. I realized that when I was with him, like funniness comes from him. That's all the Christ in us. When we're cracking jokes with each other, when we get together, you see somebody and the first thing you do is smile because you remember y'all jokes that y'all was saying in school. That's the Jesus in us. And he is the funniest. He's funnier than Jim Carrey, Eddie Murphy, Will Ferrell. He's funnier than all of them without using any foul language. It's amazing how funny he is. And now I'm like, wow, you think of Jesus and the disciples, you think of everything being so serious. But now I know they was joking the whole time. They was having a good old time when people wasn't around and stuff. They was having a blast. They were laughing. He's more than funny. More than funny. Super funny.
It is interesting how this whole experience came about is because you were trying to manifest some lottery numbers. I got to hear the backstory behind that. I'm assuming you were down on your luck, wanted to get some extra money, and that's what kind of started. And is it something that you've always done? Like this whole manifestation?
No. I was watching YouTube videos and they got me into manifesting and stuff. This number, okay, if you go to my TikTok, you'll see I got the 916 phenomenon, and now I know what it is. 916 is the number that has been following me, harassing me for years. I didn't know it was Jesus. I finally found the answer. And I knew that it was, a point. I knew I was going to hit a point in my life to where I got to change everything. I'm going to hit a point in my life to where I'm going to move somewhere and I'm going to do everything I'm supposed to be doing. I had no clue that was me giving my life to Jesus and being baptized and living, not being a sinner. I didn't know that's what it was. And this is something that I know in my entire life. This number with 916, which is my birthday, September 16th. That's what I'm saying. He's a perfect God. He's a perfect God. He made a full circle. And I told this to my wife. Look, number 916 is chasing me, is stalking me. I'm talking about stalking me everywhere I look, everywhere I go, every time I look at the clock. If they watch that playlist alone will blow your mind. Because I started recording it. Every license plate, I would see 916 or 3916. And sometimes it would add up, but I'm talking about 916 everywhere. I'm telling somebody about it, and I noticed 1996 is on a shirt right here. Like, it was ridiculous. To the point where I literally thought I was dreaming. I smacked myself one day in the car. Wow. I'm like, I got to wake up from this. I literally thought I was in a dream. Wow, I smacked myself. There's 916 on the license plate in front of me. I pull up to the store. That car pull off. Another car pulling in that parking space. 916 on that license plate. I pull over, eat my lunch. 916 is right there. The store address 916. everywhere. And I'm like, what is this? Why is this number stalking me? Why? I couldn't get up. I'm vlogging it. I got 20, 30 videos on it. And where I would tell people, get around me. I'll say, okay, 916 is stalking me. They'd be like, what are you talking about? I'm like, I'm only telling you so you're with me now. So in the next 5 minutes, we're going to see the number and you're going to say, oh my God, like what is going on? And next thing you know, people are like, oh, there's 1942 right there. What? I pull up my stepdaughter coming here. It's on her math homework. Like, look, the number is following us everywhere. It's ridiculous. Yeah. Now, sometimes a number will follow you. You might see a 3-digit number that's following you for a day or two. I know that. And then people will say, oh, it's because you want to see it. Nope. See, I already tested it. I tried to see a different number. I tried to push the number away. I am not bringing this on. It's real. It's really happening. My wife's birthday is 916. Our anniversary 619. I realized the number. Kia, come here. I realized that the number was Jesus. So when I see the number, when I recognize that's our number, grab the picture off of there. That's our number to communicate. The picture, man, is he? Then I know he's communicating with me. And I say something about Jesus. I be thanking Jesus. So I say something about Jesus, something going to pass me, say 916. If it say 3916, it's him. He'll say, yes. This is it. This is me talking to you. Me and my son went in the store, took a random picture, in the Target or something, Best Buy or something, you see, not 916 on the.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
It never stopped. And I realized, okay. And I mean, it was blowing my mind forever. I mean, down to, you see, like even the water bottle is 16.9 fluid ounces. Real. It's real. It's spooky real. And I finally I was like, I never thought I was going. And I told my wife, I said, you know what? I know what the number means. I'm running from it. I know what it really means. It means I'm supposed to be doing what I always knew when I got older that I was supposed to be doing. And I'm supposed to be doing it now, even though I still didn't know what it was. And it was following Jesus. And back to your question, what'd you say? That last question
about manifesting.
Yes, the lottery. I'm playing 916, 3916 lottery. I hit it a few times, but you know how many times I missed it? Missed it by a day, or it hit in the morning, or it hit in the evening. I played it that morning. It hit in the morning. I played it that evening. I kept missing it. Why is it messing with me? Oh, 3916. Oh, 1639. Oh, it just hit again. Oh, I keep missing it. Every day. So I was like I said, I was manifesting. I get up in the morning. I wanted a chocolate chip cookie. I could see it in the wrapper and everything. I'm like, oh, chocolate chip cookie, yes. Want that chocolate chip cookie. I go to a Goodwill, little thrift store. I just stop in there for no apparent reason. No, I stop in the park. I'm in the parking lot. I ain't even planning on going in the thrift store. I see a guy come out holding a chocolate chip cookie. It ain't been an hour since I've been. I say, what? That's weird. He holding a chocolate chip cookie. Look, just like the one I was just thinking about. Then I say, I'm going to go in this thrift store and see if they still got that old Batman statue in there that I like. I go in there. They got a whole table giving out free chocolate chip cookies in the thrift store. Do you want one? Of course I want one. I manifested this. This is mine. And I was like, I did this. I'm telling my wife, I did this. Since when they giving out chocolate chip cookies in the thrift store? So I said, you know what? I want a bully. I want a new dog. I'm going to manifest it. I get on Facebook. What should I name my bully? Oh, What is it, a boy or a girl? I ain't got it yet. I'm just manifesting it. What should I name it? Give me a name so I can name it, so I can manifest it. Next thing you know, my friend, he got bullies. He got bullies for $4,000. I ain't got no $4,000. What do? Come down to a good price. What happened? I get a nice Instagram check. It's nothing. Boom. 2 days later, I got a bully. I said, man, I manifested this dog. Okay. All right. Now I'm good at manifesting. I'm about to manifest like Powerball numbers. You know what I'm saying? So that night, me and my wife, we was up talking, chatting, whatever. I laid down. I already know what I'm about to do. I'm about to go into manifest land. Honestly, this is what I was trying to do. I wanted to go into a place and try and see into the future and see the numbers, see me all happy so that next day I could get up and play those numbers. Make sure I remember the numbers on the ticket. And I was almost there. And then that's when I ended up in the black. I ended up in this all black place and I was like, okay, I'm here. I'm out of all of this stuff. I'm here. Now all I got to do is walk in the right door. And that's when I walked in and I saw Jesus instead. And now I know I ain't got to manifest nothing. Like, this is what you need. All you needed was Jesus. The whole lottery thing and the numbers was to get your attention. He's like, you made it. And it was all just on my journey. Now I understand it fully. And that was his way of getting my attention through lottery and money. He got through that way. But yeah, I was seeking the wrong stuff and going down the wrong path. But he saved me. Not only did he save my life, because I was ready to crash into a building. Who knows? I probably did, and he intervened it and made it not happen. I don't even know. He's so powerful. And he saved me from all of that. And it's like, I ain't worried about no lottery. I don't need no money. I don't need none of that stuff. I don't need it. I absolutely do not need it. And you might think, oh, you need this. And all you need is to be comfortable. You really just want to be comfortable. You ain't burning up. You're not freezing to death in the igloo somewhere, stuck on Mount Everest. Your body ain't malfunctioning because you ain't starving. Really, you just want to be comfortable. Your head ain't busted open. Your elbow ain't hurting. There ain't nothing the ibuprofen can't fix. All you want out of life is to be comfortable, and we're all comfortable. We spoil. He spoils us, and then we want more and more, and we want this and we want that, when we just need to sit down and let him cook.
Let him cook. I love that. Let Jesus cook. Well, in closing, there's so many questions I can ask, and I know somebody in the comments is going to call me out. They're going to say, Vladimir, all these questions you could have asked and you didn't ask. And you know what? In the future, I'm going to have people live with me on the phone call, on these calls, so that way at the end, people can hop on and ask questions. But we're not in the future yet. I'm curious. So you said you saw like a silhouette of people around him. It's interesting. When I saw Jesus face to face, I also had, I remember talking to him, and then I kind of zoomed out and I was like, wait a minute, there are all these people. I didn't see them. But their silhouettes, I couldn't make out who they were, except for like this giant ladybug that was standing right next to him. And I was just like, what is this?
A ladybug?
A ladybug, giant ladybug, it was to his waist. And I looked at the ladybug and it looked at me and it waved at me and we connect. It was just this unconditional love came from it. But what's so interesting is that ladybugs kept showing up in my life. Like I remember my last day at Billy Graham. I used to work for Billy Graham as a web designer developer, and I was nervous. I was about to start my own company, my twin brother, and we were in this cafeteria, closed cafeteria. There's no windows that are open, and I've invited my friends over for last lunch there in the cafeteria at Billy Graham Evangelist Association. And my friend goes, Vlad, look at your shoulder. Look at my shoulder. And there's a ladybug on my shoulder inside of a building, right? So it's just kind of like you, God is catching my attention through different things. But so you saw the silhouettes of the people. Who do you think they were?
I have no clue. People that's in the kingdom. That was in the kingdom. Like, people's like, well, where was you? I don't know. It seemed like I was on a cloud. It seemed like I was in heaven, all white place, New Jerusalem. I don't know what you want to call it. He had people behind him. Could have been my family members who passed on before that made it. It could have been disciples, his followers behind him. I have no clue. I have no clue who the people were behind him. But when I
Hmm.
saw the picture that was up behind me in the barbershop, when I noticed he had people like around him, then I was like, that's kind of like what I saw when I seen him. There was people behind him. So it's like he's not alone. It's like they was just people in the kingdom and they're probably just everywhere, I feel like. And they were like right there at the gate, maybe guards or something. And he was like, I felt like he was just meeting me at the entrance. And the people behind him, I don't know if they, knew me personally or not. I don't know. But it was definitely people behind him.
Well, Lamar, you've been so generous with your time, and there are people watching you right now, and they're intrigued. They're like, wow, you mean to tell me I don't have to live this way anymore? I don't have to be stressed, anxious. I can just give it all to Jesus.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to return to their childlike state, right? How, practically speaking, let's say someone is like your older self watching right now, the older self that didn't have this encounter yet. What would you tell that older self?
You gotta let go. Like everybody say, let go and let God. That statement is a understatement. Make it a big one. That's really it. You gotta have that leap of faith. You gotta believe them. You just gotta believe. Just like go out on a limb and just believe it. Like I don't care what you believe in. I know you being loyal to yourself and you getting in your own way because you be loyal to yourself. You're being loyal to yourself. You're really being loyal to yourself and your flesh and your mind and what you've learned in your life. Don't be loyal to that because what if you're wrong? What if that ain't it? What if what somebody else has been telling you is right? Now make yourself think that even if you know you right, even if you know you right, even you know 2 + 2 is 4, and somebody else is telling you, bruh, 2 + 2 is 5. All you got to do is let go and believe it, and you'll be able to see it. Is that matter of fact? Let it go. All right, 2 + 2 is 5. I'm gonna believe what he said. Just try it. Try Jesus. Try him. Like you got to try him. I've been Muslim 38 years. I thought I knew Jesus. I knew him as the
Hmm.
prophet. I didn't believe he was God. I didn't believe he was our Lord and Savior. I didn't believe I didn't know he was still here in the spiritual essence everywhere. I didn't know that. I didn't know it. But he is.
Hmm.
See the signs, don't ignore it. Just like if you see any other signs, you see the kitchen on fire, you ain't ignoring it. Jesus is telling you, and he keeps smacking you. He keeps sending you signs, and we keep ignoring it. Push away all the distractions. You keep listening to music every day. Push away the distractions. You gotta any room you leave for the devil, he in there. So leave a little room for Jesus. Just try to be good. Leave a little room for good. You really ain't trying. You acting like you trying, but you just being loyal to your flesh.
You're acting like you're trying. You gotta let Jesus cook. I mean, that's the bottom line, right? But to do that, you got to let him actually do that. And
Right.
practically speaking, it's just first thing first. You wake up in the morning and you just go to your closet, whatever, and just like, hey, I'm here, Lord. I just want to. What if, like, this is how I talk to Jesus? I just get a pen and paper and just start writing like a letter to Jesus. Because to me, when I write, I can see my own words, the thoughts, the words. Like I stay more focused, and I just tell him, like, look, Jesus, I'm worried about this. I'm anxious about that. And in the end, I rip the paper and just throw it away. But it just kind of, it's like my letter to Jesus. What if you start with something like that, and then if it's a lot of people, it's just hard to just sit or just talk to your own self, so to speak, but maybe start with a letter. Write a letter to Jesus. Tell him how you feel. Tell him what you're going through and just give it to him. Man, this is powerful. There's so many other things we can get into, fasting and even the baptism. Man, I want to make sure I'm not taking too much of your time. But one
Oh
last
no, we
thing,
good.
the
We good.
fasting. The fasting. I'm curious about fasting. Like how beneficial that was, like just the fasting, the process in itself. What kind of benefits, or I guess, how did it help you in your journey?
It helped me just to rid of all the sin, to starve my flesh out, so it'd start over. I'm gonna tell you this. I used to fast for Ramadan sometimes. I didn't do it every year. But one year I fasted for Ramadan, and I did it as perfect as I could. I did the tahajjud prayers at night, 3 a.m. and all of that every night. And on that last day of Ramadan, I felt my heart like get cleansed. I was driving my truck, and I felt it like go over my
Hmm.
heart like that. And they say once you complete Ramadan, all of your past sins get taken away, and you get a clean slate. And I like physically felt my heart get cleansed. This experience, what I just went through, was better than that. Seeing Jesus and him taking this stuff from me was better than that. It's the best feeling ever. Fast on anything, and like I said, don't give it. We give the devil too much room. We giving him too much room in our life. You can fast from anything, whether it be the music, food. You go on a cold turkey fast. Don't eat, drink, smoke, none of that. Just try it for one day. And the guy gonna come in. He sees that, and he gonna come in. He see, because that's your like the best way you can worship and show that you trying. And it's hard. It's hard. We know it's hard. But God is coming in, and he gonna work on you. If you don't want to do that cold turkey fast, just fast from what you can. Ask him, pray on it and fast just whenever you can. Fast for as long as you can. Do it, as much as you can, as much as you're able to, as much as you're able to without coming out your comfort zone. You know, you start to get the hungry, you be like, no, because I'm gonna start getting hungry. Okay, well, do it until 12 or until you get real hungry. But just try it. Take one step for him. He gonna come to you, guaranteed. But you got to be watching. See, because your brain be clouded. That's the main thing. Our brain is clouded with distractions and literal smoke. When you're hitting nicotine and stuff, you being clouded. Your judgment is cloudy, and you're not seeing God what he's doing. You're not realizing you got a beautiful life, and you over here stressing, hitting your vape. You got a beautiful life. You got a job. You got children. You got a house. You got dogs. You over here stressing about a bill, letting the devil take over your whole life and your day when you could be letting God do that. It's all
Man,
about
think
just
about
letting
this.
him know.
Think about this. The unlimited source of creativity, Jesus, our God, can just give you one creative idea that can totally revolutionize everything, just change your whole life, right? Idea for a business, idea for something. It could totally change everything for you.
Mm-hmm.
And all of that is available to you. All you
Yep.
got to do is just come to him. Don't wait until you're squeaky clean. You just come to him as you are. Man, that's powerful. That's so practical. It's so simple, right?
It's so simple. You watching this right now and throw out a prayer. They hear it. Ain't no prayer going unheard. He loves every single one of us. They hear every prayer. They're writing every prayer down. They're counting every single prayer. It's all real. It all counts.
Well, and
real,
I remember
counts.
interviewing somebody, Diane Carroll, I think her name was. She had a near-death experience. She came out of her body during COVID. I think she was in a coma, and Jesus showed her prayers going up to heaven like tickets, like the like carnival tickets, and yeah, they're not. It's not just making noise.
Yeah,
your prayer is not just making noise, and consistent prayer, especially.
He loves.
Well, Lamar, man, this was a great conversation.
Yes,
I enjoyed it so much. Thank you so much. This is awesome.
This off my chest, man. I had to. He told me to get it out there, and I said, "Hey, I guess I gotta hit up Vladimir because."
Man, I had to hear it. And, we just connected. It was like yesterday. I think yesterday we connected. And that same day I said, hey, let's go ahead and record. I think we connected like in the morning. I said, let's do it in the afternoon. But then I had a soccer game to go to for my kids. And so I was like, let's just reschedule it for today. Man, I'm so glad we did this. This was good for me to hear. If nobody else gets anything from it, I got so much encouragement from it. So Lamar, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you for watching today's episode. Before you go, I have another powerful testimony I don't want you to miss. Pastor Enrique Pascal had money, fame, and influence as Jay-Z's promoter. He was throwing massive parties for hip-hop's biggest names. And on the outside, his life looked perfect. But deep down, something was missing. Then one night, something supernatural happened. Jesus pulled him out of his body and took him to heaven. And what he saw changed everything. That episode should be coming up on the screen right now. If you don't see it on the screen, check the description below for the link. Until next time, have a great rest of the day. And I look forward to serving you and getting to know you more inside of our free private community over at family.godsvoicetoday.com. Talk soon. Bye-bye.